Welcome back to the channel, guys. As promised, a week later, here we are, another video, and this time we've got a bit more to look at of the camper. So got the drone out earlier, done a few shots which I'm going to try and edit into this cut, but just really focusing on the outside today, and just going to go through a few little details and let you know what I did on the vehicle, what some of the attributes are, what some of the elements are, and also show you how the bed goes together. So let's have a look. So at the back of the vehicle, we've got a vent here. Now, the reason that's in there is because in the summer it did get really hot for the passengers in the back. Now, there is a vent at the top, and then you can just see it under the roof box there, and that rams air into the vehicle. But obviously, to create airflow, we had to have it out the back and out the side. So these are closable vents from the inside if you need them to be, but it did add a lot of airflow into the vehicle, which was really nice in the summer because it did get warm. Then we've got this is our washing water. So we've got purified water inside, and this is just for washing with. Now the reason it's on the back and it's black is because it creates a lot of heat. So it receives heat from the sun, which is great, and it warms it up. So when you're washing yourself, you can actually use some warmish water. It's not like ice cold. And also the top there, it's got a really big aperture, so you can buy these cordless rechargeable shower pumps that drop into like a bucket or something, and it's got a shower head on it, which is really practical. Just do it out the back of the vehicle. But because this has got such a big opening, as opposed to a regular water carrier, I can drop it in there and use it as a shower. So I'll show you that, perhaps not with my budgie smugglers on, but I'll show you how that works a bit later on. So walking around to the side here, a couple more features. Got the additional vent. Now this was just from Screwfix. It was about £2, but it looks really good. I really like the way it sits on there. It mounts through, so it's quite substantial. But I've also got one for the interior as well, so that's something to add, and that's an easy fit. Now down here is a little bit something special because I had a couple of these from a previous build. I was looking at different ideas again of accessing the vehicle in a waterproof fashion from the outside. Now this is for a kayak, so on a kayak you get a front aperture to sort of store all your dry goods and stuff in it as you're going along, but you can buy these. They're about £20, and they actually come with a nylon bag inside them which you can remove, which is what I've done here. You simply open it up and I've got access to my purified water. So this is a pressurized lifesaver unit, and what you do is you can add water into it, you pressurize it so it purifies all the contaminants out of the water. That's a 20-litre tank in there. I might change that. I might just use it as access with the shower head again and fit one of the ones like I've got on the back, but it's just nice to be able to get to it from the outside if I want to clean my bike off, whatever. If I just need to get access to the water, if I need to refill it, I don't have to sort of remove it from the vehicle. I can just drop the hose in there and fill it up. So that's quite a nice, neat little way of keeping water storage. So I've got the table out as before, so it's a little bit easier to see now. So you can see there that I might not have mentioned before, but I've got the telescopic leg on there, which I've got from an easel. And the reason I like this is because you can actually adjust it as you want to. So you're not limited to have it on the vehicle. You can have it wherever you want. So you can extend it longer onto the floor, a bit more secure. Other nice thing about this is that one of my plans is to actually have a lower level mounting point here, so that if I'm outside, if we're all sitting outside, we've got chairs, we've got a table there, a lower level, more of our level basically, which is useful. So in order to get the base set up, we have to use these boards over here. There's 3 of them, and then we also use the support poles we've got in here, so 2 metal poles, and they locate across the vehicle in here to give it more weight because I'm 16 stone. That's the second board in place. Now I have to get one other item out from in here. And this is quite simply something I've made to support the end. So it is a set of wood that's been connected together with some webbing, and that is just so it packs up nice and easy, but also it gives a good support for the last one here that sits at the front. So you just literally set it out. Okay, so that's it all set up. As you can see, even sitting right in the corner here, just with that concertinaed support. I had a few different ideas, and one idea I had was to make a couple of cubes which you put a cushion on top, which could act as sort of additional seating, but they were just really bulky and always in the way in the vehicle, so I needed something that could sort of pack down. I had a look at a few different options, but this seemed to work the best. So I hope you've enjoyed just getting an idea of what the interior is like. You know, I'm sitting here, I'm sitting up in bed, which is really nice. I've got leg room, I can sit, I've got space to move around, and that's pretty important. So you're probably asking how do 4 of us sleep in here? Well, that's a very good question. So at the moment we have an annex that goes, a drive away annex that goes on the outside. And we all kind of muck in and take turns on where we sleep, but a couple of people will sleep in the annex, a couple of people in the bed, or normally it's my other half and the 2 kids sleep in there and I end up sleeping in the annex. That's what it is at the moment. Ideally, we could put a roof of pop-up tent top, but you're looking at a couple of grand for that, and you know, that's 2/3 of the whole cost of this build. So for now, we're going to stick with the annex option. Our kids are quite young, and there is a possibility I could build something at the front here, like a bunk system, where they can both sleep at the front. But again, it's just, you know, where do you store all that wood and all that equipment when you're not using it, when it's not set up? But ideally, now that the seat can spin round, there's actually a big space there for them to lay. So if I could create something where at least one of them, the eldest, the 6-year-old, could sleep there on his own bunk, that would be a good way to get by. But you know, don't mind a bit of tenting, we've got the hammocks and everything, so it makes the whole thing an experience. But if it's just the 2 of us, or just myself, and I'm going on a bike trip or doing something, doing some filming, and I need somewhere to crash, this is a really good solution for me. So I hope you enjoyed it. As I said before, if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe, which should be somewhere over here. And there's a couple more videos. I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to try and get everything set up, so we'll go and actually do some camping, and it'll be good to see the whole vehicle being used. If you've got any suggestions, because the ones I had from you guys on the last video were really useful, you know, sometimes there's things you just don't think of that work really well. A couple of things I've got to do to the vehicle beforehand, before we finish, and it's completely finished, is we've got the thermal blinds to go in. We've got that shower that we're going to fit as well, the cordless removable shower. Going to show you that and see if it's something you think is worth having. And then finally, we're going to get some heat in the vehicle. So the idea is, we've looked at different ideas. So obviously oil-fired Eberspacher heating system, or Webasto, I think, do one. They're expensive, and I've lived on a narrowboat in the past, and they're quite noisy. They wake you up, and I'm a bit uncomfortable. So I've been looking at air, sort of like, you know, heated air systems that are relatively cheap. And because we've got a good leisure battery on here, as long as it's just kicking in just to keep the chill off and not sort of like roast the interior of the van, I'm more comfortable with that. And obviously, as long as it doesn't come on in the middle of the night, that's what I don't want. I want it just to come on, you know, in the evening when we go to bed, so we're nice and warm, and then perhaps come on 6 o'clock in the morning just to sort of give it a nice little warm tinge when we wake up and we're all ready to go. So that's going to be something I will cover and I will film. That should be in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.